Natalie Ryan has been taking the female disc golf by storm. Natalie has 63 events, securing 22 wins, and it's net Natalie $43,000 in winnings. But those wins were ill-gotten. That money was stolen. Let's dive into 3 reasons why Natalie should not be allowed to compete in the FPO. Then at the end of the video, I'll tell you why you're probably okay with it. What's up, tree choppers? It's David with Random Disc. Today's video is something I have been debating on making for a long time. You see, this is a topic that is very sore with me because I can't support it. Check out all these stories and get an idea of what I'm talking about. Over the past month, there's a lot of controversy because someone that had no right to win stole a competition. Now, the craziest part are the people coming out in support of this circus and believing it's okay, both on YouTube, on Reddit, on Facebook. I have some really bad news. It's not okay. In fact, it's very, very sad. My opinions don't matter, so let's dive into some facts. Fact number 1, and this one blew my mind when I found out. Natalie does not have to compete in the gender-protected Female Professional Open Division, the FPO division. In fact, Natalie chooses to skirt the rules in California Air Sport and get talked about and compete in a gender-protected division, while claiming we're being biased and unfair. MPO does not stand for Men's Professional Division, or Men's Professional Open, I should say, which I thought it did. I really did. It actually stands for Mixed Professional. Now, what does Mixed Professional mean? It means that males and female can play and be accepted without any issue. That's zero controversy. Now, the issue comes with the wins. I mentioned earlier, there's 22 wins, 60-something events, absolutely crazy. Just by competing in the FPO and clearly skirting the rules with some legal loopholes that's allowed certain players to win. We've seen it a lot where an athlete who is born biologically male goes through puberty and is ranked extremely, extremely low. And then they change genders and then they start winning. So here's a fun story. Someone was talking about Serena Williams once, and they said Serena Williams is the best female tennis player ever. And someone else commented, "Don't you mean best tennis player ever?" And the person responded, "No, not even remotely close. Serena Williams, who is so dominating in her career and so amazing, would barely beat mid-level Division I college athletes." And that is the truth of the matter and the benefits that men have compared to women. In fact, the winning aspect ties into the third reason why Natalie should not compete in FPO. So you'll want to check out that reason. I promise you, it's greed. Fact number 2. This fact is the hardest one for me to discuss because it's one that a lot of males in the world that are okay with this type of cheating don't seem to understand. But we'll talk about why you're secretly okay with Natalie competing in the FPO despite knowing it's not fair at the end of the video. So stick around. Biological males who grew up and went through puberty as a male being pumped with absurd amounts of testosterone have a huge advantage over a biological female. And there's no way around this. There's a reason that athletes take testosterone and testosterone products in season and off season to compete at a higher level. The natural benefits of biological male, meaning was born male and then went through puberty as a male, are bone structure. Testosterone plays a key role in shaping bone structure during male puberty. And the bones of transgender women who underwent male puberty may be larger and denser than those of biological women. Now, hormone therapy can help reduce bone density, but it cannot completely reverse the effects of male puberty. Height. Testosterone can cause growth spurts during puberty, resulting in increased height. While hormone therapy cannot reduce height, it can help prevent further growth. This is why teenagers who play with anabolics and performance-enhancing drugs and hormones when they're younger, they stop growing. The aromatization of this testosterone into estrogen that causes the growth plates to close. And this is why females stop growing shortly after beginning menstruation. They get a whole bunch of estrogen, their growth plates close and they just can't grow anymore. In disc golf, as well as the actual real world, Natalie is a very different competitor and very different person, especially in the female division. She's standing closer to 6 feet tall, definitely has more weight and more power and more leverage than the average female competitor. Muscle memory. Even with the reduction in muscle mass, transgender women who underwent male puberty may still have muscle memory that allows them to perform certain movements more efficiently than biological women who did not undergo male puberty. And this is even with the addition of male hormones and performance-enhancing drugs and so forth. A female cannot hit that level that someone who went through male puberty did. Natalie doesn't acknowledge any of this. In fact, if you listen to Cheating Natalie, Natalie insists that Natalie is extremely good and hard work ethic is why she's slaying the female division. None of the natural advantages I just went over that Natalie got growing up, Natalie does not acknowledge any of those. Fact number 3. If you are a warm-blooded American that truly cares about competition, this one should upset you because it upsets me. It shows the entire reason why Natalie is arguing to fight in the gender-protected division. It's because Natalie knows Natalie has an advantage. Natalie chooses to cheat because of this. I'm not saying this to say this. Natalie said it within their lawsuit. Pointed out in fact 1, no one is saying Natalie can't compete in disc golf. In fact, the MPO, the mixed division that Natalie can't compete in, she can compete in, but she just won't win. It's readily available for her to compete in. But Natalie knows she can't compete and even mentioned it in the lawsuit multiple times. One complaint being excluding Natalie from competing in female professional open events takes away some imaginary right to compete in disc golf despite the mixed division being open. And the biggest complaint being by not allowing Natalie to compete in the female professional open events, despite no issue with mixed professional open, it would hurt Natalie's pocket. And again, this isn't me coming up with this. This is Natalie saying this in her lawsuit. This means that Natalie knows she's in a position to go in and dominate the female professional open and make a killing doing it, as long as we listen to California laws. No one is saying Natalie cannot compete in the MPO. But nobody can make a living in the MPO as a 950 rated player. You would never ever cash. Now, the FPO, you can definitely be 950, 980. You can be under 1,000 and cash out. It's been very clear that this is about money and milking an advantage on uncharted territories. As Natalie openly says, that the inability to compete in the FPO will take away her earnings because she can't compete in the MPO, despite the MPO not being gender protected and the MPO being readily available. Look, it's 8 a.m. I'm standing in front of a camera recording this, and I really did not want to make this video. Kind of like I don't want to sign up my 15-year-old daughter for a female protective sport and female protective event and find out biological males are going to smash her easily. It's wrong. And if you care about good old American competition, then you know it's wrong. I'm on a new channel, and this video probably got me canceled or sued. Maybe. I don't live in California, so we'll see. And I'm accepting that because I refuse to watch the circus continue to play out. So many content creators want to grow the sport, and so many athletes want to grow the sport, and then they have no issue with this and won't talk about it, and some even support it, and it just blows my mind. And I have a theory about why so many men are okay with Natalie competing in the female protected open despite the MPO being available, while Natalie screws all the biological women of this sport. Are you ready for this? It doesn't affect you, so you don't care. As soon as California rules gorillas are people, and Elon releases a brain chip so gorillas can play disc golf, and then gorillas start killing the MPO, then most will have an issue because it begins to affect them. And even then, probably not, because it doesn't affect your pocket and you'll be entertained watching gorillas beat on Paul McBeth and the top pros. Give this a like. That's solid logic. Give it a like. But to say you care about the sport and want the sport to grow and you're okay with this is crazy to me. Sports and competition need to be protected and fair. There's already steroids and performance-enhancing drugs all over, and now sports that don't have that issue are running into this issue. The only way to make it fair would be to have a trans division. If you go back to fact number 2, you see half the crowd will still have a large advantage naturally, and it will depend on the testosterone and male androgens given to the other side if they can compete or not. Now, I said what I said, and I said what needed to be said, and I'm okay with the heat, so drop the comments below. But I know how the people are that support this type of circus, so do me a favor, please. Let's be adults and don't troll me on all my videos, and don't bury your dislike on every one of my videos because you failed to see the glaring issue here and disagree with the 3 facts. Again, the 3 facts I presented on why Natalie Ryan should not compete in the FPO. Happy tree chopping. Deuces.